إحنا entrepreneurs نشتغل we want we can't.
Most of my work is behind a computer, so I can make money just by sitting at home.
The people that guide you or mentors or trainers, they haven't really been through it.
If you manufacture for a country, in that country, they should make sure you succeed.
Do we actually know what we want? Are we trained to understand what we want?
Cut your losses. يعني just because it's your baby, just because it's your passion, مو معناته إن أنت تطيح وياه. لا تطيح ويا البزنس.
Welcome to the first season of Time of the People from Futures Maker. I'm Sara Al-Sabah with my co-host Suleiman Al-Hamli. This is a show about the people and what happens when we stop waiting for somebody else to build our future and start taking it into our own hands for love of our country and for a future worth building for it. 4 guests, 2 hosts, 1 table. Everyone brings who they are and what they want to change. Because we cannot fix what we do not understand. And we cannot build what we refuse to imagine. This is the work of the people. The decade from now to 2035 is ours to shape. Together. The door is open right now. Let us build. Now to you, Suleiman.
بس يعطيك العافية شيخة. يعطيكم العافية ضيوفنا الكرام.
الله يعافيك.
الله يعافيك.
ما قصرتوا والله على حضوركم اليوم. وطبعا أشكر المتابعين على تفاعلهم المستمر ودعمهم. حلقتنا اليوم راح تكون عن رواد الأعمال الانتربرنورز والبيئة اللي يحتاجونها عشان يبنون شركاتهم بأفضل شكل. بس قبل لا نبلش الموضوع بس نبي نتعرف على الضيوف ونرجع إن شاء الله لموضوعنا. نبدي وياك دلال.
دلال الدليمي، تشرفت فيكم جميعا.
شرفنا.
ex entrepreneur, tech innovator, Kuwaiti lover to my country. Yes.
Khalid Al-Bsairi. I'm a PR and CSR senior manager at a tech company. I worked in government affairs for about 10 years. I've also had an 8-year logistics aggregator, a local one, built from scratch. And here we are, and what a wonderful journey.
Thank you. To you.
First of all, thank you so much Sarah وسليمان for this beautiful opportunity. المبادرة نفسها يعني it's such a heart opener to be honest. معكم نور الجبر. أنا مهتمة ببناء مجتمعات ومساحات آمنة حق نمو الأفراد والتعاون تبادل الخبرات. طبعاً نعمل على بهالمجال في تنظيم تجارب مبادرات مجتمعية في مختلف مجالات تطوير الذات، الفن، الموسيقى، الثقافات. فالحمد لله يعني أقدر أقول من خلال رحلتي قدرنا نساعد وايد أفراد ودعمناهم بأنهم يغيرون أو يشيلون الفكرة إلى أثر حقيقي.
wow.
yes, this is a little bit about me. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Again. Thank you.
السلام عليكم، يعطيكم العافية. معاكم أخوكم عبد الله الفرحان. I'm an executive director at Avidius Tech Manufacturing. My previous job was working in the Ministry of Finance in the Economic Affairs Department. I used a lot of what I learned there for my journey. And I hope I could share some of that today with you guys.
Amazing. Thank
إن شاء
you.
الله. بس يعطيكم العافية. إحنا طبعا أول سؤال نبي نتكلم عنه اللي هو النجاحات.
أي قبل ما نروح نجاحات بس راح أعطيكم الرود ماب شوي. So we're going to go through النجاحات, the successes, and then we're going to see where we have any gaps, and then how do we build towards a better future using those learned skills that we have. To you.
تمام. فمرة ثانية بتكون نجاحات، بعدين الجابس، بعدين شلون نعدل الجابس هذه للمستقبل. فأول سؤال، شنو الأشياء اللي انبنت بالكويت والخليج وساعدت يعني رواد الأعمال الانتربرنورز والشركات الناشئة. أشياء زينة موجودة ومطبقة حاليا يعني.
You mean as government programs?
No,
or...
no, like what conditions? Yeah, some of the
Conditions,
government,
yeah.
private sector, any
So
kinds.
I think mostly government incentives and programs. There's a couple. There's one under, I think, Kuwait National Technological Enterprises. They body a group of companies that help accelerate the tech infrastructure in Kuwait and also help seed fund a lot of startups.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of, I think, good incentives in the country.
I would say from a government perspective, we have seen the Kuwait National Fund. There has been a lot of environments in the country that have adapted to this idea of entrepreneurship globally, and it is slowly coming to Kuwait. Yani we've seen that in the last few years. الحكومة ما قصرت وسوت صندوق المشروعات الصغيرة الكويت ناشونال فند. طبعا وايد مبادرات صارت في الدولة, accelerators, incubators. I can name a few but I'm not sure if we can. بس يعني في accelerators وايد الحين قاعد تصير, في labs قاعدة تصير عشان إنه تحتضن الانتربرنورز والinnovators. في مشاركات كبيرة بين القطاع الخاص والقطاع الحكومي كذلك, قاعد يحتضنون رواد الأعمال. يعني we went from I guess romanticizing this idea of entrepreneurship to actually bringing it to life in the region. So قاعد أشوف أنا جهد كبير من الدولة والقطاع الخاص كذلك في تبني فكرة ريادة الأعمال في الدولة.
Amazing. Anyone has anything to add to this conversation?
I think for the sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for the private public sector also there's KFAS, which is also part of larger initiatives from private companies to dedicate 1% for the advancement of such projects too.
And especially for young entrepreneurs who want to get into different fields.
Yeah, I mean the projects and the incentives are there, but I think there should be more spotlight on how they work, how could they be reached, and a bit more effort can be done. I would say that.
Okay.
مركز صباح الأحمد للإبداع كذلك.
Yeah.
إيه.
Creativity.
إيه ما شاء الله, يعني قاعدين نشوف حتى a lot of focus on the youth.
صح.
There's a lot of focus on the youth, which is very exciting لأن الناس قاعدة تنتبه إن entrepreneurship starts probably a lot of times from an early age.
Yeah, it's a mindset basically. So we need to build that mindset.
بالضبط. ففي مراكز للإبداع في الدولة, هذا شيء وايد حلو. في مبرات كذلك, في وايد ناس ما تدري عنها. فجهود عظيمة بصراحة قاعد نشوفها.
I think there's some sort of implementation to what's happening in the West. إذا بنشوف اللي قاعد يصير بأمريكا, San Francisco, all of these startups, Silicon Valley, they're trying to adopt something like that بالإمارات, which were, I guess, the first to kind of do something like that. And Saudi are emulating that as well. قاعد يحاولون إن يخلقون هالإيكو سيستم, هالبيئة هذه اللي تدعم المبادر, ومو بس مثلا بأمور مادية. ممكن وهم أنا شفتها لأني شاركت بأكثر من أكسلريتر بالكويت وهم بالسعودية. في توجه كبير بالسعودية, مثل ما قلت, الدعم مو بس مادي, هم يكونون resources, skills, حتى لأبسط شيء, حتى يعطيك مكتب, يقول لك أنا أفتح لك مكتب, إذا محتاج محامي, إذا محتاج financer, an accountant, حتى IT. فهالشغلات هذه أشوف إن مهمة حق المبادر, بس مو أهم شيء, بس هي مهمة. هي مهمة.
شنو أهم شيء؟
الصراحة أهم شيء تجيب لي الكاستمر.
Yes, you're right.
أنت قاعد تعطيني التولز, البيزات, أنت قاعد تعطيني مكتب, انا ما قاعد ادلع واقول يجيب لي كل شيء اكل ايدي وامسحها بالطاوله، لا بس يعني I don't know how to get a customer and that only comes with people being on the ground, experience of actually
experience.
yeah, and there's a vast difference between opening a book and going out on the street to get a customer, and I think that's kind of what we're missing يعني.
بس يجيب لي الكاستمر، هذه مسؤوليتي أنا كإنكوبيتر، هذه مسؤوليتي أنا كأكسلريتر، هذه بالضبط.
لا صح
right
صح.
so يجيب لي الكاستمر. أنت قاعد تقول إن البيئة موجودة، ممكن إن البيئة موجودة والريسورسز ممكن موجودة، بس إنزين are you saying like there's a lack of resources to actually understanding how to bring the customer?
Yeah,
Okay.
if for lack of a better word, but thank you for clarifying. Yeah, that's exactly it. No, yeah, but that's exactly what I meant. لو ناخذ مقارنة مثلا بأكسلريتر بالسعودية شاركت فيه، مو بس عطوني التولز اللي أحتاجها، لا على نهاية البرنامج يابولي logistics companies أو شركات لوجستية، potential clients. تعال خالد اقعد مع هالشركة هذه مع السي او، شوفوا شنو تقدرون تسوون. وهذه شغلة ما شفتها ولا مكان وانا شاركت ب 3 or 4 accelerators.
I totally agree with خالد، لأنه we're lacking مراكز التأهيل. يعني we have عندنا الدعم من الحكومات حق يعني أغلب رواد الأعمال، عندنا دعم العمالة، هذه الأمور كلها pushes entrepreneurs to go forward، بس ما عندنا يعني الأساس. يعني مراكز التأهيل وايد مهمة، وايد مهمة، لأن كل رائد أعمال يدري it's a war zone.
It is a war zone.
يعني
It is a war zone.
أنا داخل وما أدري there is no safety net تحتي. فمثل ما قال خالد the money is not enough. أنا can you set my nervous system to such a war? It's nice to have this يعني community parenting kinda. It's not more of parenting. It's just like having guidance. Exactly. مع أنه we've seen يعني the past 15 years شركات عملاقة طلعت من الكويت من شباب صغار، يعني عملاقة وصلنا الGCC. وهذا طبعا بفضل الحكومة ودعمها وأكيد يعني the amazing mentality و vision اللي الشباب عندهم. but we need this.
هو منو تعرف عندك تعرف هالكونكشن هذا، تعرف فلان الفلاني هني، حتى لو يعني الصراحة حتى لو فكرة مو ذاك الزود، يعني they مثل ما يقولون they get one over you because he knows this guy or he knows that person, and this is something we see. Let's if there's gonna be a guy who says what's on our minds, fine, I'll be that guy. I'll be Simon Cowell here. It's fine.
I just wanted to follow up about Saudi Arabia. My company is in Dubai, and the government there has been amazing, to the point where all our communications with all the ministries are always followed up. They follow up with us where we are in every stage. I think the most amazing thing is it's a new industry, so we're taking a risk by doing it in the first place. They're extending an arm with all their consultants, so we get the best UAE's government has under our disposal, which is more enabling than money or anything can buy, because in the end of the day, we're not lacking funds in the region, but we're lacking people that can change the market, whether it's with or against aggregators, if it benefits the country as a whole. And you need guidance for sure, because they can give you money and you can get a contract, and you might fail in that contract because you're starting. So if you don't have any guidance every step of the way, there's no use of, we have a lot of founders, but how many of them can continue what they started is a question.
Yeah, which is a perfect segue into like failing. Yes. You don't see many failed startup founders doing it again. And because of XYZ, You know, we should normalize failure.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know,
I agree.
I think also it's important to know why we failed, because if
Learn,
you,
yes.
بالضبط.
if you failed because you know you're dependent on a segment of the market to order from you, then that failure is not on you.
صح. ولازم يكون في ثقافة إنه أوكي هذه الشركة أو هذه الشركة الناشئة أو هذا المبادر ليش فشل؟ ناخذها كيس ستدي.
Exactly.
فصص الشركة
بالضبط.
شنو صار غلط شنو صار صح. بالعكس أنا بالنسبة لي هذا شجاع.
صح.
حاول فشل تعلم.
صح.
وشنو هالنيجاتيف ستيغما مع كلمة failure or فشلت. I normalize it because when you fail you know what not to do
In
next.
the future. Yes, exactly.
We should normalize that.
Anna, I'm afraid I'm going to have to disagree with some of the ideas.
That's why we're here.
I hate to be that person who disagrees, but I want to say, I mean, listen, you know, but someone's got to do it, right? So
Not really, but okay.
Okay. So موضوع الاحتضان, موضوع guidance, I think becoming an entrepreneur and starting a company is one of the most irrational things one can do. And it's all about certainty and يعني becoming comfortable with the certainty of uncertainty. And this idea of إني أنا أوفر لك guidance, when do we stop? When do we educate the founder to become self-dependent on what they have? أنا عطيتك المبلغ, أنا عطيتك البيئة, أنا عطيتك, you disagree?
I'll counter your counter.
Okay. أنا عطيتك المبلغ, أنا عطيتك البيئة, أنا عطيتك الريسورسز. طيب أنت الحين شنو تسوي فيه؟ إذا أنا يعني إذا أنا أقدم لك زيادة دعم أو extra guidance والموضوع هذا كله, how am I actually building entrepreneurs?
You're building the economy.
Yes, your
You're
success is
building
based
relationships.
on their
بس
success.
ترى أنا أتفق وياك.
Yes.
Being an entrepreneur is a very lonely and depressing and very sad road.
I wouldn't say that.
Extremely.
I would not say that.
Okay.
ما أدري.
Being an entrepreneur means you're taking a risk.
صح.
I have seen that risk taken without any costs. So the risk is mostly time. You're wasting your time on something you need to believe in.
إيه بس عبد الله, how many people are like you?
I think
Not many, but
exactly.
not everyone's
Yeah.
an entrepreneur. You need to take risk if you want to try something. Or you're-
أكيد, but there's a lot more of me than there's a lot more of you.
I think-
there's a lot more of people who failed.
Yeah. I think this is dependent on each person. I think يعني
عبد الله
ممكن.
قال شيء عجيب.
Yeah,
Yes,
my
please.
question.
قال واحنا كنا
Yeah.
قبل لا نجي الاستديو كنا قاعد نتكلم عن نفس الموضوع. قاعد يقول ولده في المدرسة.
الله يخلي لك إن
تخيلي.
شاء الله.
الله يخليك.
What year is he?
I think he's in KG and they're teaching them
Entrepreneurship.
about entrepreneurship
تخيلي.
from now.
Imagine
In school.
starting from that age. Starting from that age, teaching them in risk taking is مثل ما قال خالد إن failure it doesn't mean it's the end. هو عند بالنسبة لنا الحين our culture عدام.
I
one
love this
person
quote.
fails.
ما أوري وجهي ما
Yours
أطلع
best.
وجهي.
بس ما أقدر أسوي مشروع ثاني. وإذا سويت مشروع ثاني يعني I will hide behind someone another
Yeah.
partner.
It's a culture thing.
فتخيلي
It's a
if we
culture
start
thing.
الاحتضان من الحكومة يبلش من التربية
Yeah.
من التعليم.
It's also
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
اتفق
yeah.
وياك.
It's
زين،
also
أنا
not
بس
a-
معلش بس
Yes.
الدخول سريع. شو اسمه يعني هو الارجيومنت ان الحكومه الحين تعطيك دعم عماله،
إيه.
تبطل شركات، تسوي اللي تبي على راحتك، كل شيء يعني ما اعطتك كل هالامور هذه. فانتوا تقولون ان تبون الاديوكيشن اللي يعلم الانتربرنور شنو يسوي شنو ما يسوي الامور هذه.
I'm saying more actually than everything they're saying. So I'm waiting for everyone to
What
say.
is the guidance?
يعلمونهم
Yeah,
حبة
they have
حبة.
to be there in every step, especially if you maybe not if you open a restaurant.
اوكي.
Maybe if you open a restaurant, but like
no.
why
Team no.
why would I give you money today as a country if I'm dependent on your success alone? I need to make sure you're successful with you. Because in the end of the day, your success is going to be
that's a
my
good
success.
point.
And all of this is part of Kuwait's vision to diversify the money coming in the long run.
Definitely.
So if we want to create an ecosystem where this is, let's say, viable, no, they're invested. UAE maybe is more risk appetited than this region. And for that risk, they're invested in the failure and the success. So for failure stories, they memorize them, they use them,
As
and
case
they
study,
they
yeah.
discuss them in every meeting, and we learn from them too.
Yeah.
To them, it's not about I will let's say dissect the different types of entrepreneurship. If we're talking about restaurants, I think that's a bit riskier than if you're talking about manufacturing, or because there shouldn't be risks if you manufacture. If you manufacture for a country, in that country, they should make sure you succeed. This is not a point of like, why are you manufacturing in that country if you are not dependent upon in that country? So, and if they don't want you to be dependent upon, don't fund that company. So in the end of the day, the investment has to be sound. There are investments, for example, we could name a few without saying their names, of a delivery company, an on one. It got invested, it got a contract, and it had one simple thing to do, which is move papers from one building to another. Of course, they're new to this entire, business. They don't know better. They stacked the papers, not knowing that stacking papers is as heavy as gold. So all their cars broke down. They needed funding, and no one's going to fund them because they didn't reach the 2 years maturity and meet all the requirements. But it is a successful company that was able to get contracts, that was able to do jobs. So what do you do then? Were you supposed to be there to guide them before that happens, or can you extend an arm again instead of saying, "Oh, you failed, and I will acquire you"?
But
I
how
know
is
the
that
answer to that.
how is that
Yeah, I just knew.
entrepreneurship?
Because part of
This is
it-
what I'm trying to understand. يعني
See.
if I'm sorry على المقاطعة. إذا أنا I'm lending you a hand وأنت like part of entrepreneurship is knowing like if you fail on your own. And sometimes people thrive off that thought and idea. بس أنا لما أدري إن أنا وراي سند كبير and potentially ممكن أحد يمد إيده ويساعدني, I don't know if this is called entrepreneurship in my own humble opinion.
lazy
يعني.
complacent يعني يبدي عاد انه وراي احد وراي
أنا I
ما
don't
راح
see it
اطيح
to that
يعني.
extent. يعني أنت يمكن you're saying إن I'm gonna start a business and I always know إن في أحد أفشل ولا أتعب أروح to that government
Yes,
tells me. لا, I really believe in just the initiation, the start. يعني that's where government مثل ما قال عبد الله إن أنا الحين I trust in you. I'm giving you this amount of money. And what are you going to do about it? At least في this guideline where, okay, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to give you this course. تخلص هالكورس. I'm going to make sure أنت you know what you're doing. And then you're on your own. مع السلامة. يلا.
I
But
don't
it's
disagree
also,
with this.
It's also we're talking about an ecosystem that's still in the early days before its maturity. So you need to build that mindset within your society in order to get to that, what you were talking about, the manufacturing. Manufacturing is something we don't have in this region. That's an incentive for government to support such initiatives that are lacking in our area and to create a sovereign manufacturing, which as we see with the regional developments, it's something that's very needed.
Scarce
Yes.
and needed.
Yes.
Exactly. So I think it can't be a one model fits all, and the labeling and the how do we explain what's entrepreneurship? It should be distinguished in that environment.
نعم. أنا أحس إنه we don't reach success with an entrepreneurial ecosystem until we truly make it a traditional career path. Because right now, I mean, يعني I've had relatives where I said, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, so أنت entrepreneur بس عندك وظيفة بالحكومة ولا عندك وظيفة بالقطاع الخاص؟ Yeah, عندي وظيفة. I'm an entrepreneur, right? So هم ال acceptance of that and making it actually and it's a real job. It's like a real job. يعني واحدة من شروط إحدى البنوك اللي يقدم التمويل إنك أنت تتفرغ كلياً.
Yes.
التفرغ الكلي لمعرفتهم إن الشيء هذا هو a full-time job.
So as an entrepreneur, if you are you are taking a risk by finding what is missing in the market for you to fill it and, you know, do your end of what kind of services you could offer or what kind of services the government needs. No, you're very dependent on you have to use their support. It's not a question. So if you don't support or you don't depend on their support and it's bigger than you, you failed the entrepreneurship idea just because you thought you have to do it alone. UAE would, and other countries, including Kuwait actually, headhunt entrepreneurs that have great ideas based on their potential, not based on what they could do today. So based on what you're saying, every single Kuwaiti is an entrepreneur to me, because everyone can open a company online, could sell online. And I truly believe it's how far can you reach with the country wanting you to reach there. So I don't say support every person who wants to open a business, but support the things that you are missing, and they might have the, let's say, the passion to go on and, let's say, pay the most expensive kind of commodity there is, which is time. So if they believe they could risk their time, their job, their lifestyle over something, these are the people you want to invest in. And my, let's say, topics are mostly manufacturing. From my government's job, you actually learn that you depend on the government to buy from you. It's a law. So you get preferential treatments for being a Kuwaiti product, Emirati product. That's why water is 100 fils from GCC-based companies and 400 fils for Evian. It's not priced as 400. That's the preferential tax. So no, you have to depend on them. If they don't put preferential taxes, they don't give you support, all the huge companies you will never find successful entrepreneurs to compete.
زين، على الكلمة اللي قلتها، في حاليا أنا ما عمري قربت صوبهم صندوق المشاريع الصغيرة وكذي، تروح عندهم تقدم برزنتيشن كذا كذا ويدعمونك وكذا، نفس الكلام اللي قاعد تقوله. هذا already موجود.
Yes, in more than one way actually. So it's available with the Kuwait National Fund.
تمام.
It's available through NTEC under Impulse. And there's more than one program actually that even banks have this now, I think. But the idea is that you want more work to be done on what's next after funding, because that delivery company is not the only one that failed just because they didn't get the right, support on time.
زين، أحد جرب أو سمع عن البروسيس شلون تروح تقدم وكذي
ايه، وانت تقدر هم بالتعاون مع شركات الاكاونتنج كومبانيز، في شركات يتعاونون وياهم، تقدم وهم يساعدونك تعبي البيانات كلها، و it's kind of like a long form،
والجايدنس وكل شيء يسوون لك كل شيء من الألف للياء.
من الألف للياء.
ممتاز.
and then you get it in tranches. Right? You get it in tranches.
But you're missing support. You just get the money.
This is what Dalal was talking about.
I don't agree with this idea of like providing all the support. But again, I can disagree. So
where does the buck
fine.
stop to you, Dalal?
I think actually this is what we're missing, I think, in the region, is that we provide a lot of comfort. We're missing the discomfort of the individual to be able to thrive under pressure and when there are no resources around. I mean, I truly believe having lived in Silicon Valley in the US for 15 years, I've noticed the most successful unicorns have become unicorns because I'm not saying we have to live in our car and we have to I'm not saying all of that, right? But there is creativity and success in the discomfort. When you have no options around you, sometimes the best ideas come from that. And I feel like because of the comfort and coziness and the support and the guidance, and maybe a lot of that could potentially not create the potential outcome that we want, which is creating unicorns and creating successful entrepreneurs and building a thriving ecosystem, in my humble opinion.
بس مثل ما قلتي، في سيليكون فالي هناك احنا احنا ودنا نسوي سيليكون
Yes,
فالي هنا.
yes.
هناك الكلتشر
Yes.
كل اللي حولك يعني كأنها طاقة تساعدك.
صح.
واحنا قاعد نتكلم
صح.
عن يعني مبالغ
مم.
فلكية يستثمرون فيها. وصدق والله الخليج قاعد يحاولون they try to emulate this، يحاولون يستثمرون هالمبالغ الكبيرة، بس ما
Yeah.
هناك
احنا
غير
بالبداية
هناك غير.
يعني هم they have a certain maturity. احنا قاعد نبلش بهذا الشيء، فنحتاج يعني احنا it's like a pilot project.
نعم.
يعني في مراحل. I think that's what's we can't also think that we can just jump to Silicon Valley from
No, we can't.
0 to 100.
بس our DNA I think unfortunately
DNA.
للأسف
Yes, DNA.
ال DNA مالنا والجينيتكس ما how do I say this diplomatically
عبالي بتقول شيء ثاني، عبالي بتقول our DNA, we're entrepreneurs in our DNA. Historically يعني historically from our ancestors يعني يسافرون ويروحون للهند ويروحوا البيرلز all of that يعني problem solution.
صح.
حتى لو it takes a long
And
time.
with so much discomfort.
حتى
يعني
لو تروح
بحر.
بعيد عن أهلك،
Yeah.
حتى لو ما تاكل أيام، حتى I mean how more entrepreneurial can you get than
So
that?
for that, I'll share something later. But so what I meant by support is what I've experienced, and I'd like to see it here. In UAE, they always gather the companies that are starting, and you sell something and you need it, and they introduce the people that need each other's services.
That's amazing.
So it's not about finances; it's about actually
networking, creating a society, a community.
Yeah, and they actually have KPIs to actually work with them, and it's beneficial for all the companies.
Everyone.
Because in the end of the day, you're also achieving ICV, which is your in-country value. So when you work across with different companies, depending the kind of business you're running, it does actually have a greater effect. And you do need a governing party to put all these people in place for you to see what kind of outcomes you could reach, or where does your experience or expertise end and someone else could pick up. Because again, it takes for me, Talabat is an amazing idea, right? The people that created it were in uni, so they didn't need much to create it. I believe it didn't cost them that much. It took the third person who bought it to buy it from, I don't want to say the number because I'm not sure, maybe 800,000 something. Everybody thought he was crazy when he did it, but he took a step forward. He invested more and sold it for millions, and today it's worth 10 billion. So it started from nothing and it reached somewhere, but you needed someone to take it
to the next level.
to the next level.
What you're talking about is time. There was a video I saw about this consultant who he consulted for over 2,000-3,000 companies, and the number one. What do you think the number one factor for the success of a company is? Is it money? Is it money, time, team? Is it money, time, team, or a fourth one?
Continuity.
Which one do you think? Which one do you think it is? The number one factor for a success?
How long has it been
Fourth
operating?
One. Tolerance?
لا. It's time.
I mean, you just said
that's
time.
exactly what you're talking about. Talabat was the right time.
Timing.
The timing. Timing is everything. It's not money. Number two was the type of team. And I thought that was very interesting. Finally, you have to keep in mind the culture اللي بأمريكا وسيليكون فالي. ترى الحكومة الأمريكية يعتمدون أعتقد 30-40% على الشركات الناشئة. اي فهذا مثل ما تفضلتي هذا جزء من الكلتشر، جزء من الدي ان اي مالهم والماتوريتي اللي موجود، which انا متاكد الامارات
This grew, I think, to I don't know how many billion this year only from UAE and Saudi Arabia actually.
إنه شنو؟
This investing in startups I think the sum was around 600 billion on
ما شاء الله
600 different startups from 2 different
فواضح
countries.
التوجه اللي هم يبون يوصلونه يعني.
Logically, you can see what is missing in the country, and the country can invest in that sector. So it's not, it's something that we've always done. What I saw in the ministry when I worked there was after 2020, Corona hit. This is where it's not about, let's say, the security of what do you own outside. It's how many things do you own inside the countries that you're operating from. So we became into a manufacturing or a company aimed at producing companies during the Corona incident. So the direction is there. How can you make it a success? There's a lot of people that are, they just graduated from uni. In my last event in Make It in the Emirates, the participants were people from the biggest companies in the world, startups, and schools.
Yeah, schools. Education,
From schools, universities. Khalifa University had amazing ideas. All new technology, all innovative. Some kids from high school, I don't want to call them kids, but like
teenagers.
The teenagers from high school, they had
يعني عمرنا يعني.
They
ما
had
كانت قطة.
amazing ideas. And you
كلش
need to see that. You need to be in such exhibitions and just to get it to the next level. So encourage entrepreneurship at a
young age.
Yeah.
I think that's what Noura was saying, and that everyone brought some elements to that, is that you need an environment or a community that develops these skills, because being an entrepreneur, yes, it comes from drive and hustle and this risk taking, but it's also part of your culture, your environment where you grew up in. How do you adapt and understand and take a risk without, like in a community like ours where it's a shame culture, if you're going to go out of that comfort zone, your family, your friends and community are going to think that you're crazy. But we had this, like you said, in the past. So to bring this back into our education system, to normalize, like what you were saying, Khalid, to normalize that culture of failing, which is something that's important. It's not a shame to fail. It's a learning experience.
Just يعني نفس ما قالت شيخة توا إن يعني to normalize failing، يعني وإن عادي الواحد يفشل وكذي، وإن يعني كنا في percentage أصلاً نسبة اللي يفشلون بأول سنة كنا 70% أو شيء كذي، بعدين ما يكمل أصلاً، ما تحصل بروفيت إلا بعد 5 سنة شيء كذي. في نسبة عالمية موجودة، مو على الكل طبعاً، بس شوي. بس الحين نرجع للسؤال، أنت الحين لما تطلب أحد أو تبي انفستمنت بالشركة مالتك وكذي، وأنت عندك يعني دريم مثلا، خلينا نقول مثلا كريزي دريم ولا شيء، يعني يقولوا لك لا، يعني الفكرة هذه ما راح تمشي وكذا كذا، فما راح ندخل بمشكلة ثانية الحين إن يقولوا لك إن لا، ولا تسوي كذي، ولا يوجهونك بس ما يعطونك الحرية الكاملة.
So that happens, by the way.
هذه مشكلة بعد.
That happens, and it's so for whatever the company that we're working in, it's something new. طبعا there's an investor that might be more interested in the money side of the business, how much money could they make. But then comes the passion of you understanding what you're doing, and there's a risk you're not willing to take. So it's not even a risk of failure, but a risk of underperforming in a way that could be lethal. So do you just accept the money and continue with their direction, or do you refuse it and continue and see what happens? So this is, I guess, also a direction where if you're not given the opportunity, you're going to have to go with one or the other. Just as an example, aggregators are given a clear, let's say, motivation on what is expected from them. But how are they expected to execute is not clear. And you cannot implement those rules according to WTO if you want to have them, trading freely in that country. So there are things where they can contradict each other in the end, where the aggregator or the person want something and the investor wants something and the country wants another thing. That's why it's important that one side could, you could say, moderate this for the benefit of that country.
So like guidance, but going back to the guidance that you were saying.
Yeah, like let's take, for example,
or guidelines.
I'll speak about Talabat. I love to speak about Talabat. So Talabat, for example, is a company, an aggregator. And of course, they have different rules. They're not based in Kuwait. So they have different directives. There are times where they don't understand this market's rules. Each country, the GCC is one market. So I hope all our conversations is aimed at the region, not Kuwait.
Yeah, for sure.
And so when it comes to, for example, you know, needing a company as big as Talabat to do certain things in the country, they might just be willing to pay the fine and not do it. So you do need some kind of guidance to make sure that also you don't hand away certain projects that turned from a small entrepreneurship to a huge foreign controlled company. That is a risk that I guess we open to entrepreneurs if we do allow such a thing to happen. So we do need to, let's say, guard rail certain activities and make sure they're not given to foreign investments when Kuwait opens up to foreign investments moving forward.
So certain industries you're talking about?
Yes.
Or, okay, so it's like sensitive industries.
Sensitive industries, or let's say industries the government wants to see accelerate in a certain perspective. Of course, each country has a different model.
Yeah, for sure.
And to each works in a different way.
زين الحين عندنا شو اسمه الشيمينج زين يعني فيلير وما ادري شنو وكذا كذا والامور هذه.
Oh, I have so much.
هذه بالعاده يعني بالتربيه ولا يعني شو السالفه؟ يعني ليش الواحد صار يخاف انه يفشل عشان لا يضحكون عليه؟ هذا ترى اكبر همه، اكبر من انه والله عليه قرض ولا عليه شيء كذي لازم ولا بيدش السجن ولا اعرف يعني احس هذا اكثر شيء يخوفه يعني.
خوف اكثر.
زين
Kuwaiti people problems.
شلون طلعت السالفه هذه وليش؟
We're harsh people, I think, when it comes to criticizing, but it makes us stronger when we leave Kuwait. This is what I think.
Yeah, I think part of our culture, just as an observation, مو إنه شيء صح ولا شيء غلط. إحنا نحب الضغط.
Yes.
تقعد بالديوانية، تقعد بالبيت، هذا جزء من ثقافتنا صدق والله. يعني أنت تضغط رفيجك، أخوك يضغط أختك، أنت تضغط كل واحد يضغط الثاني. ندري أن جزء من عاداتنا وتقاليدنا الضغط. فأول شيء راح يبالك إذا أفشل والله ما راح أروح الديوانية. يعني هذا أول شيء راح تفكر فيه. مثل ما قلت أدش السجن ولا أن أواجه ربعي بالديوانية.
عندنا هالهم إحنا ما أروح ما أروح العزيمة.
بس you have a functional equivalent.
عندنا هالهم.
عندنا يعني يحشون به.
إيه شاي يضحك ما أروح شاي يضحك.
ما يوصل.
الحمد لله الحمد لله.
فمثل ما تفضلت الشيم هذا أعتقد جزء منه ولازم نتخطى، لازم نعتبر إنه شيء طبيعي إنك تفشل ولا ما راح تنجح. يعني بالفترة اللي طافت من زمان وايد كان عندنا دعم وايد كان عندنا دعم من الحكومة والكويت، والحمد لله ما تقصر بالتعليم والصحة وكل شيء، حتى بالتموين بعد. ألف الحمد لله، ألف حمد وشكر لك يا رب على هالنعمة هذه. فما كان عندنا حس والله لازم أنجح، والله لازم هذا، لا، وايد أكثر لازم ما أفشل. وفي فرق لما تكلم نفسك تقول إنه أنا ما أخاف. أول شيء شنو راح تفكر فيه؟ خوف. أنت أفضل شيء إنك تسويه أنا شجاع ولا أنا أقدر. فأعتقد جزء من الحل هذا إنه منتاليتي العقلية.
في ناس تضحك وايد على الأسلوب هذا.
الافرميشنز والكلام اللي تقوله
صح.
لنفسك.
أحلى
يعني
شيء.
أنا
صح.
كنت أبي أتكلم عن الموضوع هذا من بدينا إن we don't have a funding problem. I think we have a psychological problem.
Yes.
Like I really believe that. Truthfully, wholeheartedly believe in that. لأن عاداتنا وتقاليدنا we are harsh on ourselves. شلون أوايه الناس، شلون أتكلم، شلون. فdefinitely psychological problem. So do we actually know what we want? Are we trained to understand what we want? Do we are we being asked the right questions from a really young age? يعني
أحس جزء من هذا I think that's I don't want to ما أبي أشق بموضوع ثاني بس I think that's a whole gender issue. I really feel like men don't have an option except to make it and be successful. I really
That's
feel
another
like
thing.
women choose to want to be successful or choose to want to stay at home.
I think it's definitely a gender issue.
I think
agree
it's a
with you.
gender
I
thing.
agree with you. A lot
That's
of
an
societal pressures and expectations.
يعني
Of
على
men.
كلام دلال لو يقولوا لي شنو أول شيء ممكن تبنينه لو أنا I have the power
إيه.
I would definitely
do.
يعني I do have the power. أول شيء أسوي
Affirmations.
I do have the power. أول
أوكي.
شيء أسويه الصحة النفسية. يعني دعم المؤسس. يعني لو تخيلوا بالمستوصف في عندنا احنا صار في الحين
الحين
موجود
صار
ترى
في،
في
صح.
الدعم النفسي
صح.
amazing.
أوكي.
بس تخيلوا لو في حق entrepreneur أو المؤسسين that would be amazing. يعني أحد متخصص عارف exactly شنو اللي بيله and then just like contain the whole thing.
أتفق من هالناحية لأن اللي يحوش وايد مبادرين اللي هو البيرن اوت
burnout yes.
وما حد يعرف شلون يتعامل وياها وانا حاشني تقريبا لمدة 2 لا اقدر مالي خلق اطلع مالي خلق امسك تليفوني حتى التاسك البسيط انه بروح اجيب هالشغلة هذه مالي خلق ولا اني فاهم ولا ادري ليش. فمن هالناحية اتفق من ناحية الصحة النفسية كرجل او كمبادر يعني
نعم.
شلون نتعامل مع البيرن اوت.
وأرجع إلى نقطتك الشيخة سارة يعني على كلام الصحة النفسية. Also we have a problem of relatability which is like building those communities where we can all relate to each other. ترى لما you know you're not alone.
Yes.
It's a very powerful feeling.
Yeah.
يعني التعاطف مع الإنسان إنك أنت hey you know what you're an entrepreneur hey by the way I know what you've been through right حتى لو I'm not in your I can never be in your shoes right I can never be in your shoes. However part of this feeling of failing or trying I know what you're going through part of the burnout I know building those communities where this feeling is tolerated and accepted.
Yes.
Accepted
and you don't feel alone.
accepted. ترى يعني this is extremely powerful. ولما تتكلمين بهالأمور للأسف يقولش لا أنا يعني عفوا أنا رجال وأنا وهذا وكذي. It's all the same, right? We're human at the end of the day. And I feel like my burnout might be the same as your burnout. In fact, it might be even more powerful on you لأن there's all these societal pressures around you and expectations for you to succeed. You're a man. You're supposed to succeed. What are you talking about? أنت المفروض بالبيت تجيب وأنت تسوي وأنت ما شنو وأنت ما شنو وشلون ترجع البيت ومرتك قاعدة ولا all these things, right?
I think that's more biological. I agree ترى بالنهاية I agree بس أحس وايد منه biological إن أنت لازم تسوي هالشغلات اللي قاعد أشوفها اليوم أكثر بالكوميونتي والنتورك اللي يتكلمون عنه في أكثر من كوميونتي حق المبادرين الحين أنا أشوف هذه خطوة يعني بالاتجاه الصحيح وإن شاء الله الخطوة اللي بعدها مثل ما تفضلتوا وإن we deal with burnout we deal with the problems that entrepreneurs face so maybe is it time
I think
is it ثقافة
I think it's a bit of all صح
Yeah.
maybe
توصيل المعلومة توصيل المعلومة
communication
وايد مهمة. يعني أنا الأسبوع اللي طاف دريت إن في مركز برميثية يقدم صحة نفسية 24 ساعة.
أنا
أول مرة أسمع. يمكن أنتوا أول مرة تسمعون صح؟
أول مرة
بليز لا
ما-
تحط على الفيديو هذا يعني زين ما أخاف الحين سكروا 24 ساعة.
جلال يعني.
والله كلنا
بس صدق توصيل المعلومة. يعني أنا الحين مثل ما تفضلتي الصحة النفسية، طيب أنا entrepreneur، طيب أنا محتاجة الريسورسز هذه، أوكي ممكن الجهات المعنية تركز على أمور معينة، الفندنج والجايدنس وبعض الريسورسز، بس هم في ريسورسز مو وايد واضحة للناس، التوجيه من هالناحية مو وايد واضح للناس. يعني تفضل.
So actually, what I see it sometimes in يعني في جهات they come and want to fund you based on something that shouldn't be the case. So if you need help in something, if you came, if you have an invention, if you have an idea, they don't need to fund you. They just need to guide you, or at least find someone who had the same problem and see how you guys can work together. So this is what I believe Futures Maker does. And this is why I like this idea, because I do see it again with the government of UAE. They have been doing this. It's very smart, where they do believe that everybody that needs to communicate, stay in touch, know their networking there is meaningful, and they have the long vision of, you know, this has to come back to the economy.
This reminds
That's
me.
a main point.
Yeah,
I
this
think.
reminds me of Y Combinator. They have this crazy list of entrepreneurs, and then they have this list of people who want to fund, and then they have this list of, I forgot the list, the name of it, الأفكار اللي are really hot right now, or we're ready to fund them, or like matchmaking, like that kind of thing, you know, entrepreneurial matchmaking
for entrepreneurs,
Futures.
for startups, for VC, like your venture
futures
capital.
matchmaking.
Bring all these people together. I
But
think
you do need to know
I am
more
so
about
sorry.
them. Like
100%.
they should be more available. There's a lot of programs like, did any of you guys heard of NTech?
no. Yeah.
I expect you guys to know about NTech.
EdTech.
Have you heard of
NTech.
NTech?
NTech.
Yeah.
I can't even pronounce
Yes,
it.
and tech,
And
yes.
you have, right? How many people do you think know Impulse under NTech?
Yeah.
What does Impulse do? They bring all the huge companies in the world to Kuwait.
Oh.
So I think there's also two other problems we didn't address. احنا ككويتيين we're entitled. Alhamdulillah, this entitlement comes from somewhere. It's not يعني, without a reason that time has served in a bad way when it comes to microeconomics. So what a normal Kuwaiti was able to do in 1960 is not the same as what a normal Kuwaiti could do today. And I do believe that there should be a big part of Kuwait's Future Generation Fund that's used at this time to accelerate such, you know, businesses, such sectors, industrial vision, industrial, let's say, guidance on where does the country want to go. Because Kuwait and all the GCC countries already made it around the world. احنا عندنا أكثر مصافي بالعالم, and we own them across Europe, but not in Kuwait. But we do have masafi in Kuwait, and we do have recyclable power plants in Kuwait. But most of this information isn't known. Most of, let's say, the country's alignment in what it needs to do or what it expects to do is not aligned with the programs that are offering the money. So maybe there should be some alignment there. And I do believe it should come from entities like KFAS, which is private governmental, because they have the resources to have the energy also to match these entrepreneurs.
I think what you're trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm reading between the lines, is the system designed for you to fail?
The system is designed for you to not...
Because I think so. بس يعني.
I don't believe the system is designed for you to fail, but okay, so let's put it this way. Kuwait as a government does a lot more than what the people know about. And that comes because we went through, you know, a war time, and that's the main reason why. So most of the things that the government is actually doing on a daily basis is not daily news. It's not what people know about.
It's not communicated.
It's not communicated.
Why is that, do you think?
From security perspective, so you don't want every country to know where your resources are, where your investments are. It is secret mostly for the security of the country. you guys need to know
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
cutting off for.
One point that I want to make is that I think what you were saying before, that what the UAE does in bringing, creating that environment that's sustainable for entrepreneurs, and I think that's what we have to envision in our environment, to create a sustainable environment for the entrepreneurs. And that's, you need it. I think Noura talks about education. You talked about psychological help. There's the financial capital base. There's the matchmaking base, bringing people together, networking in a strategic manner. And one thing that I was you were into data and AI, but all these new technologies, how do we use it to collect information that will serve us to enhance this environment? You know, so like if we had a database and we collected all the best failures, practical case studies, all the information of who can we match with who in which industry, data, you know, like by industry, we can have something very strategic to develop that sector and that ecosystem.
أنا أحس إن وايد من هالأشياء هذه, specifically like the data, is going to the wrong people. I think we have a crisis of wrong people sometimes in the wrong places. يعني مثلا, right now there are a lot of people who teach entrepreneurship who have never become entrepreneurs themselves. That's a topic for another day, because it's a very heavy topic. But the data, if we were to use this data, are we actually handing this data to the right people? I mean, one example I can think of is university professors, right? I mean, they're educators, they're teachers, high school teachers. Are we taking this data to combine it into like a case study? Are we actually allowing people the ability to go practice in the real world and learn? So I think the data, I would love to see a system where the data is actually all accessible or is there, potentially selective data maybe, right?
Yeah, for sure.
بس يعني, where are we actually taking this data and how are we using it is not very clear to a lot of people.
I think it's a two-prong issue. I think the first prong is الانتربرنور أو المبادر ما يدري شو اللي له وشو اللي عليه. داش, وأنا قاعد أتكلم عن نفسي يعني, داش بالموضوع لا عنده خلفية, وما قاعد أقول لازم عنده خلفية بالبزنس وريادة الأعمال والتمويل وهذا, داش بالموضوع كأنه يعني سوري مدينة ملاهي, داش بالبزنس كذي. ومن ناحية الجايدنس أو الإرشاد أتفق وياك. أنا دشيت يمكن 5 accelerators. I'll be very blunt. Most of them ترى حق CSR وحق PR, وسوينا هالشغلة هذه عشان نوري الناس. يعني the people that guide you or mentors or trainers, they haven't really been through it. You know? And I know this because in the last one I went to بالسعودية, المرشد قال شغلات وتفاصيل ما يعرفها إلا المبادر, وما يشوفها وما يواجهها إلا المبادر. والحين أعرف أفرق بين اللي قاعد يقرأ من كتاب واللي يقول لك مثلا لا إذا تسوي كذي راح يصير كذي. أنا يصير فيني أوكي هذا يدري إيش قاعد يقول. فأعتقد it's both ways. يعني ما يصير أوكي خلنا أدش الحين وأتعلم وأشوف وبعدين لا, أنت لازم يكون عندك أول شيء خطة. لازم تعرف شنو تبي تسوي, ليه, متى, خطتك, ولنفرض حق السنة الجاية كم المفروض راح تصرف على الشركة, who's your perfect customer, who are you selling to. يعني هذه أسئلة الحين أشوفها أسئلة جدا بسيطة, بس حزتها ولا بالي. أنا شفت مشكلة وهذا الحل وعندي الحل. هذا نص الجواب.
But I think this is also a big
again, I disagree with this because أحس إن a big part of the problem is that إحنا نكبر فكرة entrepreneurship in our head. Don't start until you have all this ready. Don't start. Don't start until you have all this ready. And
business plan.
and yeah, which is very helpful. I'm not going to take that away يعني from becoming an entrepreneur. However, sometimes يعني the journey of an entrepreneur starts with just start.
Yeah.
Like just start وتطيح. Will you start again وتطيح. Will you start again وتطيح.
يعني the first part you said was have everything ready and then go, and now you're saying, well, which I agree with,
Yeah.
and just start.
Just start, right.
Yeah,
So
just start.
what I'm saying, big part of the problem is إن إحنا يعني I remember when I wanted to start something, I was obsessed with going to these networking events, and I was obsessed with like reading every single business plan template in the world, and I was filling out things. The most important thing I didn't do, which is what they taught me during my education, like your customer is out of this building, right? It's outside of this building. فأنا I was like obsessed with my to-do list and my business plan, not really يعني وبعدين it's a form of procrastination a lot of times as well. And it comes from a fear place. يعني هو a lot of times in that, you know, hey, I'm going to tell people I'm working on my startup, but am I actually really working on my startup, right? So
أنا أضيف على اللي قلته. أنا نفسي business owner يعني أقدر أقول إنه something in the middle. يعني نفس ما أقول calculated risk. مو ريسك مرة واحدة ولا أقعد أخطط وما أدري شنو ما خلص أقعد يعني عادي سنين. زين وحاشتني سالفة هذه. كنت قبل موظف وقعدت أخطط شوي وما أدري شلون كذي لين قلت خلاص يعني enough is enough ولازم. ولما سويت طلعت أشياء ما توقعتها واكتشفت. وهم نفس الوقت في أشياء لو إني مو مسويها يعني كان يعني رحت فيها يعني من الأساس. بس يعني نصيحة للمشاهدين لا تأخذ قرض يعني ترى ما يعني هذا أكبر فخ.
صح أحس
قلبك كلام. الحمد لله ما أخذت يعني بس إنه
لا أي صدق
بالضبط يعني أكبر يعني راح يقولوا لك ناس راح يقولوا لك والله ما أدري شنو وخش خطة وكذا كذا بروح يلا قدم قرض 60,000 70,000 ما أدري شنو دش وall in والكلام الفاضي هذا. أنا ما أتفق بهالشيء. أدري إن عندك فكرة وتؤمن فيها وكذي بس القرض راح يعني شو أقول لك يخلق مشكلة مو موجودة. يعني أنت حطيت على نفسك حمل زيادة على الفاضي وعادي كل اللي قاعد تفكر فيه وكذي يطلع آخر شيء ما بيحطمك يعني بس إنه يطلع وهم ولا يطلع شيء مو موجود ولا يفشل يعني.
أنا with investors صراحة investors and believing in the vision ويعني financially providing without طبعا لا يتدخلون silent partners. بس يعني مرات يعني we had this مع مجتمعنا مجتمع ارتقاء وايد يونا ناس and they're interested in what we're doing and they just want to support financially.
nice.
They love what we're doing. يلا we would love to support you and we want to be investing in your business. وأغلب ترى الارتس اندستري نشوفهم ناس they're working mostly under grants under يعني people who are believing in their vision. يتني وانتو قاعد تسولف عن انه لازم لما بلشت شفت الاشياء. انا توني I moved to a new home وناطرة وترى هذا المثال بكل شيء بالحياة. كل شيء ناطرة بيتي يصير perfect عشان أنزل عشان يصير فيني you know what ما راح أخلص بنزل إن شاء الله بحط لي شو اسمه فراش صغير وون سوفا وباكل بالأرض بعد ما يخالف.
بالضبط
دقيت عليها قلت لهم يلا بيتزا نايت نقعد بالأرض. وصدق فعلا لما قعدت هناك بلشت أشوف الأشياء. هني خرماي هني أحتاج مدري شنو لهني أحلى بطل. فأتذكر this is life.
هذا literally the definition of entrepreneurship. Like to me at least يعني. To me at least.
Like throw yourself ويلا.
مو بس كذي لما أنت تحطين شغلة واحدة ولا أنت تقعدين بهالمكان راح تدرين شنو تحتاجين تبين بالخطوة الجاية.
صح
I learned that the hard way بس you know.
بالضبط. عشان نبسطها على المتابعين، كنا يعني واحد عنده ليسن ويعرف ما ادري شنو العلامات وما ادري شنو الساينز وكذا والستوب ساين الكلام هذا كله، بس ما عمره ساق. زين السوق سوق زين راح تطلع فهمتي
راح تدعم واحد
بالضبط. لا كل يعني راح تكتشف ان لما تطبق الشيء
يقول يسمونه شنو فاهم حافظ بس مو فاهم.
تقريبا بالضبط.
Nothing beats
الله يكثرهم بعد.
practice-based experience. Nothing beats that.
Yes,
يعني you were just talking about like theory-based and practice-based. Nothing beats practice-based experience.
100%.
Yeah. And I think that's what, I mean, all the experience that I went through, I think that's what led me to where I am today. All these failures اللي بس جفست جمومي وقعدت أدقدق على شركات عشان أعرف أسعارهم وبالنهاية يعني الحمد لله ما مشى الحال، بس الفرصة اللي جاتني اليوم اللي أنا فيها هي بسبب الخبرة اللي كسبتها بهال7-8 سنين. yeah, it's never a failure. وإذا عندي نصيحة يعني كمل حتى لو وأهم من ذلك كله cut your losses. يعني just because it's your baby, just because it's your passion مو معناته إن أنت تطيح وياه. لا تطيح ويا البزنس.
Or share your expenses with people that also share the same, let's say, vision as you. I found that to be the best way to you have more people that believe in the same thing you do.
Yeah.
And you're sharing the risk together.
أتفق وياك، بس في فرق بين إنه إذا تطيح تكمل، وفي فرق بين إنه إذا تطيح ليش أنا طحت. إذا تكمل تطيح وتطيح وتطيح and you pivot and pivot and pivot and you keep falling، ترى في سبب.
You have to find out.
you have to find out. مو معناته إن أنت طحت لا لازم أكمل وأقفلها وأحنج وأروح. لا يعني مرات توصل مرحلة cut your losses.
أنا from the school of believing in the person who finds the company, the person who starts the company, does not necessarily to be the person who runs the company.
Yeah, 100%.
Because emotional attachment to your baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
My face reaction. Emotional attachment to your baby can destroy you, and it could literally be your bottleneck. It could actually be your bottleneck.
Or you can do a lot of meditation to detach.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
That works too.
That's kind of what happened
with
me. And then a year after that, I realized and I accepted. Listen, هذا حدي. We need someone who's actually a specialist in this field to continue this going forward. So 100%.
Or more attached to this baby that you, right?
صعب.
لا أنا أقصد إن someone who's not going to be biased, right? أنت يعني probably most of your decisions, if not all of them, are going to be يعني يمكن حتى sometimes ما راح تفكر in a rational way because it's your company. It's your company, right?
But sometimes that's good too. I believe so. Like I entered something that I wasn't familiar with, and I believe that I'm happy I entered it because to me safety is first now. So whatever I'm doing, I'm prioritizing it being safe over money. It's being safe over succeeding. Even if it failed, I'm happy that I would have presented it that way, because then I could also give in just to make it successful. But it wouldn't be the same way that I would intend it to be, because that's what the market would need, for example.
So overseeing, I feel, is probably more, in my humble opinion, I feel like a founder should work on their startup, but be someone who oversees versus someone who actually probably makes all the decisions and, in my opinion, because of the emotional attachment factor.
So I step myself aside. I do remember being in a meeting where it was a very high profile meeting, and the most important question was about how safe the product was in reference to all the other equivalents. Safety was not the topic of the meeting, so I immediately retracted and told my friends to fill in, because my answers could also hinder the process of the company then.
Yep.
Being emotional to a way, you can't tell people they're wrong to their face, even if they are. And you have to find some kind of balance between your passion and believing in something.
صحيح.
Maybe most don't.
والديليجيشن اللي عرفته شغلة ثانية تعلمتها قبل لا تعين أحد، أنت لازم تسوي هالوظيفة هذه.
Yes.
لازم
Yeah.
أنت تسويها. أقول أنت ما عندك خبرة بالتمويل، مو مشكلة عادي، بس يعني إنزين كم مدخولك، كم خسران، كم الأجار، يعني عشان لما يجي لك هالموظف أو لما تعين أحد إذا يقول لك والله أنا ما قدرت، والله هذا صعب، والله أنا هذا، لا أنت
ليش؟
عارف إيه، ولازم يكون في steps أو protocols تمشي عليها بهالوظيفة هذه. هذه شغلة جدا جدا
مايكرو
مهمة.
مانجينج لا يعني لا تشق ليش اسمه لا ليش كذي ليش كذي لا يعني ما تخليه.
لا صح اي وانا قاعد اقولها من باب صح ممكن تفهم كذي بس انا قاعد اقولها من باب انه لا عشان ما so that I know this person is being honest and not double crossing basically يعني لا يقعد
فاهم شغله.
he becomes lazy.
أنت توك بطاري سالفة الباشن.
Yes.
بس أنا أخاف إني أفتح موضوع الحين يعصبون علي.
Oh, it's okay.
أنا ضد إن الواحد يبدأ بزنس من his passion. بس.
You're against it?
Yes.
كلنا ضدك بهذه يعني.
لا لأنه يخاف مو هذا topic of interest.
لا
so I'm not gonna.
قولي عادي.
We're here to agree and disagree.
Is it how about the disagree first before I say why I agree?
I don't believe
We have to know
someone-
why though.
Yeah, I don't believe someone could be successful if he's not passionate.
I can tell you one example, and it comes to tradition and culture. I'm a singer. I love singing. Do you understand how difficult
Very.
it is to become accepted in the culture as a singer in Kuwait, as a Kuwaiti woman?
أكيد.
Very difficult,
Yeah,
right? It's my passion. It's my love. It's literally my blood is all music, right? Right?
Well, it shouldn't stop you from doing it privately.
But do you
It
sing
shouldn't,
with
but
friends?
is it my business? Do I build a business around it? Right?
You can
We're
start a
doing
YouTube
that,
channel
دلال.
يعني.
دلال we're doing that.
Yeah.
يعني أنا my friend سنتين تقريبا من سنتين she's still in corporate life بس this is her goal now. من سنتين تقولي لها راح تقول بالضبط نفس كلامك. لا يمكن. I have my career, I have my family, I have this is impossible. I don't know شلون غسلت مخها. Thank God. Now she's leading an orchestra.
Oh wow.
She's
ما شاء الله.
singing amazingly.
I
And
introduce us.
إن شاء الله very
Yeah.
soon يعني this is what I'm envisioning for her إنها this will be her career لأن she's
Wow.
doing amazing. قاعد ياخذونها studios قاعد ياخذونها her voice is magical and I'm sure yours too.
Thank you,
since
thank
it's
you.
your يعني your passion.
Yeah, but that's
هذا
my
encouragement بس.
thank you. That's my why for that. But what's your
For me, I could say that I started at least 6 businesses. 2 of them
MashaAllah.
were successful
MashaAllah عليك.
without me being involved, and they failed without me being involved. So I think the first business we started was me and 5 group of friends. Let's all start something to our name. What is it? 1,000 KD? Let's pay 1,000 KD. So we got a job. Everyone has their own job. So meanwhile, the job got executed. Of course, it was subcontracted job, got executed. We got paid. No one picked up that check for a whole year.
Oh.
A whole year, no one picked up the check of that one job that we executed. Why? Because it's not anyone's passion. We were able to do it, but no one continued. Someone went and did their own business. Someone invested more in their job to be just to excel in what they do. And this is, to me, very important. I do see most of my work is behind a computer, so I can make money just by sitting at home. To me, time is worth money, and your time spent should be worth something that you are interested or like in doing. Because it will take a lot of time from you. So I use a lot of AI, robots. I have a robot at home, robot dog. It has no use, but like, you know, I let my son get on a skateboard and he could drag him with it. But I can at least sit with my son, show him things. My son speaks to my AI every day. So it's something that I could do during the day and still have people around me interested in because they could see my passion into play. And then when I go to meetings, I promise you what I'm doing right now, like I have not seen done before. And there's no reason for someone else to do it. Like I realized someone local needs to do it for it to actually work out. Then if not, you're depending on foreign companies coming here, giving you their solution, and you're just gonna buy it. But
Yeah.
this region is invested. So what going back to, let's say, the positive and negatives about, you know, where we are today, I think Kadipa is doing an amazing job landing amazing deals for the country. I think we need an inverted Kadipa in Kuwait, so a private entity that works towards, you know, small companies building up instead of just investing in big companies. And that small risk factor, it's an appetite even banks have, so it should just be widened in a bigger scale and more focused. Because the last thing you want to do is see Kuwaitis moving to different parts of the GCC, which is what's happening, because it's more affordable, more doable, and the license exists there. And they're doing things that no one else is doing. So we want them to do it here in Kuwait. And we could see that unfolding in المنطقة الجنوبية اللي يبنونها. And advocating, because this is, even in the ministry, this was the most important thing that even the minister used to repeat. We don't want Kuwaitis to leave.
Yeah.
Small, big, medium enterprises, doesn't matter. You want these people to want to build here.
طبعا قواك الله على اللي قلته تو، بس برجع النقطة قلتيها دلال، إن مو لازم تحب الشيء علشان ينجح، أو إن
I want to show you something, guys.
تمام. فأنا بالنسبة لي أشوف passion first بعدين money. يعني أنا أشوفها بالطريقة هذه، لأن الفلوس مش أقول لك إذا ركزتي على الفلوس بس راح تحسين إنه أوكي الشهر هذا ماكو شيء، الشهر اللي بعده ماكو شيء، لا خلاص غير الخطة، غير ما أدري شنو، ما راح يمشي. بس الباشن تعطيك الإكسترا بوش هذا اللي to continue ويخليك إنه إذا رديتي البيت مثلا بعد الشغل وكذا تفكرين بالشيء لأنك حبته. الباشن هذا هو اللي يخليك شو اسمه، هو اللي يخليك شو اسمه، يعني تنجزين بالشيء وتكملين فيه. فهمت قصدي؟
Absolutely. I
Do you
think
think Jeff Bezos didn't have passion?
I-
Or Elon
yeah.
Musk didn't have passion? I think that's what the differentiator for the 1% that gives you that jump, اللي فرقك بين اللي يمك. I think it separates like, and this is just the saying, it separates the men from the boys, يعني, or the women from the
girls.
from the
From
girls.
the queens.
Sorry. Or the queens.
I don't think Jeff Bezos woke up one day and said, "Oh my God, I love libraries and books so much. I'm going to create an Amazon." You know?
How long it took him before he made a profit? Like 13 years.
So what I'm trying to say is, I think passion comes from success and from these little tiny milestones and these little wins. I think passion can be built. I don't think that success itself can create passion because you're addicted to that feeling, right? I don't think that you have to take that passion that you have, for me, for example, music, and just build a career from it, right? Sometimes the circumstances, the tradition, the culture, maybe you don't want to be seen as that, maybe whatever reason could be behind that. I think you can build passion, right, through these little wins and milestones. And for you just said passion is more important than money. I think someone else that is looking for survival and has probably other goals may have different thoughts, right? So for some other people, they're like, I have one more year to survive, or I will be homeless, or I have whatever. So maybe the goal might be a little bit different. So I think we have this leeway in Kuwait as Kuwaitis to say passion is very important because we have a comfort cushion. And that is exactly what I've been trying to say. There is that comfort knowing that حتى لو أنت you fail عندك أهلك، حتى لو أنت you fail عندك زوجك عندك زوجك. حتى لو you fail, maybe you can go back to that government entity or that incubator accelerator and probably ask for that support or comfort, right? So I
truly I'm a big believer in a passion can come from these little wins that you accumulate over time. And then you get addicted to that process. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, this is making or creating a big impact in the world, which probably is everybody's probably goal, I would hope, and Zain, who's becoming an entrepreneur, right? If it is creating a big impact, does it really matter what I'm really building if it comes from passion or not? Right?
I think Warren Buffett and Colonel Sanders would disagree, to be honest, because they didn't make their millions until they were like 60, 63, and they had nothing before that. Colonel Sanders, KFC, 63. Warren Buffett, that's insane.
يمكن
They
we
would,
have
do you think they would have made it without their passion?
يمكن عندنا مشكلة بالdefinition.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
صح.
يمكن for you, your definition of passion is just
I
like
agree.
like this something that just fulfills you and gives you so much, which is يعني
Yeah.
I think it's just like a soul call هذا أكثر من passion.
Like
But
fills your
sometimes-
cup?
Yes.
Fills your cup?
Yeah.
I think
Fulfillment.
that's what, is that what you're trying to
بس
say?
لا, like passion can be ترى مرات passion can be just I love being with people. This is my passion. Or مثلا my passion can be just like talking on a mic والله وناسة. I like doing that. That's your passion. ففي شيء what Dalal is trying to say is like this huge thing that just like I love it and appreciate it so much to the point إن أنا ما I don't want to make it business. لا, that's mine. That's my baby.
هو بعد بس إضافة تصليح للي قلتيه تو. أنا ما أقصد إنه يعني باشن وبس خلاص وما نبلع مو كذي. يعني بس أعطيك مثال بسيط.
Please.
يعني مثلا أبدأ بنفسي إن أنا كنت مهندس.
نعم.
I did make money يعني كمهندس وأحب الشغل وكل الكلام هذا. بس هم my passion وكذا الأشياء الثانية في يعني أشوف البوتنشل، أشوف البوتنشاليتي يعني وكذي. أوكي أخذ هذا أفضل صدق إنه على ما أوصل قبل يعني معاش المهندس وكذي أبطأ.
for sure.
بس more rewarding. فهمت قصدي؟ يعني أحس إنه هذا الشيء اللي صدق بيه وصدق عادي استمر فيه وصدق يعني فاهم قصدي؟
Correct.
يعني
Yeah.
هذا اللي قاعد أتكلم عنه إن إذا تشوف طريق روح سوى راح تستانس أكثر وعلى فكرة حتى لو قاعد أحصل أقل الحين طعمها أحسن من يعني اللي كنت أحصله قبل يعني تفرق.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. يعني أنا أتذكر once upon a time I was actually looking for an intersection between music and tech, which both of my passions, right? And I was like, you know what? Maybe if I want to be accepted in society, and maybe if I want my family to be okay with me pursuing music, maybe I can create like another Anghami or Spotify or whatever. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a really cool idea, right? So maybe you can bundle up your passion with something, right? But I don't think there's a right or wrong answer when it comes to that. Definitely.
What drives you? Everyone has different things that drives them. And what were you going to say, Abdullah?
I used to struggle going to work. I had a great job, amazing job, a government job. We get paid to represent Kuwait out of Kuwait.
Amazing.
And I was in committees. I oversaw a lot of things. But in the end of the day, I didn't feel fulfilled. I felt I had more to give. I can do more with my time. I learned as much as I can. I tried to. But there's a limit to your ability and what the job place can offer you. And I was just, I'll show something later to just explain how passionate I am about what I do, because I hated traveling now. So traveling to Dubai is like mission impossible for me, because I spent so much time at the airport and in the plane than I would actually spend, flying there. So it's not easy, and then being away from my family all the time isn't easy. But it's fulfilling to know that you get, let's say, a compliment or you get anticipated what you're trying to get to. It's rewarding.
Yeah. أنت قلت نقطة وايد مهمة قبل شوي إن time. You're spending time already building your company and your startup. Might as well do it with something you're passionate about.
Or what drives you? Because there's different things that
Yes.
drive different people.
So I got fired, by the way. So I couldn't make the decision of quitting in the right time. So I got fired for not going on time.
That's the universe.
Yeah, it was in the same trip that I was like assessing, should I quit and like focus?
تمام. احنا
All
بس
about Hollywood.
يا جماعه بس نبي نروح السكشن اللي بعده
Please.
لان عندنا
sure.
طولنا شوي
Please.
على اساس وبعدين راح نسوي الاضافات اخر شيء.
Okay.
تمام. الحين نروح السكشن اللي بعده
Build test.
البيل تيست. تمام.
Rapid fire.
راح اسال سؤال تردون بكلمه او جمله واحده بس. تمام. اوكي، اول سؤال، شيء واحد لازم نبنيه بالخليج عشان ندعم رواد الاعمال اكثر.
Centered hub. A hub to center all entrepreneurship to learn from each other, connect, and basically have a proper link to other industries or other aggregators.
يس
تمام.
مجتمعات ومراكز دعم مؤسسين وسبيشاليست صحة نفسية نمبر 1.
الثقافة أن عادي تفشل. يعني الثقافة أن عادي تفشل.
Yeah, for me, it's starting really early, asking the right questions, and teaching logical thinking from a very young age. This is, I think, what we need more of.
Excellent.
تمام. السؤال الثاني، قانون او اجراء واحد لو تغير راح يسهل على الانتربرنورز.
Open up the same licenses you're able to get abroad here, especially if you're allowed to bring them here from abroad.
ماكو اضافات؟
وايد ما نخلص. يعني تسهيل الإجراءات والمعقدة هذه.
تمام.
قانون صح قانون.
او اجراء او اي شيء، يعني مو شرط.
Like a process or rule or a law, regulation.
Having more entrepreneurs who are willing to offer their time to become mentors.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a good
mentorship is very important.
Mentorship, I think, from entrepreneurs is very crucial and needed in our society.
يعني والله ما أدري وين.
إيه،
وايد.
اهم شيء، يعني شيء لو
Yeah.
ينضاف اليوم راح يغير بشكل كبير. شيء واحد بسيط.
اسمعني لما أكلمك، اسمعني.
الله.
أيا كان الشخص، أيا كانت الجهة، لما أتكلم اسمعني.
إيه الله.
حلو. Yes, I like them.
صح.
تمام.
Wow, that was very powerful.
Yes.
No, thank you. That's very powerful. Design innovation, design thinking, just understanding, empathy, all of that is super powerful. I don't have an answer right now.
It's okay.
تمام.
Can we go back to it if I
Yeah,
okay.
we'll
Thank you
answer
so much.
later.
Okay.
نرجع له بعدين.
Okay.
زين. منو الفئة اللي عندها إمكانيات كبيرة يعني ريادة الأعمال بالكويت وبالخليج، لكن للحين ما قاعد نوصل لها بشكل كافي؟
University students. كلهم, they're all very dedicated, very enthusiastic. They're ready to tackle the world. They still don't know what are the problems that they're going to face, and you need that kind of motivation.
I totally agree. يعني my daughter, she's 20 الحين. When she was 16 كانت she had so many dreams. مليون فكرة بس ما عندها الدعم، ما عندها السبورت حتى بالمدرسة. يعني she couldn't يعني when she was discussing the ideas with the teachers still wasn't synced in بالنسبة لهم. They were like, yeah, she's just young. age teenagers and university students.
أتفق. الصغار لأنه هم المستقبل. It sounds like a cliché بس صدق يعني هم المستقبل.
أي فئة لازم نستثمر فيها ومو قادرين نوصل لها
أو ما قاعد نوصل لها حاليا بشكل كافي.
Yeah. I think I'm afraid that this might contradict a lot of what you all are saying. I'm so sorry. I feel like retirees.
Wow.
حلوة صراحة. يعني
I was
صراحة
going to say I changed
إضافة
mine to
قوية.
kids.
I feel like retirees A lot of them have money they don't know what to do with. A lot of them are ready to start their life all over again because a lot of them have been stuck in jobs that sometimes they probably didn't really want to pursue. And a lot of them just want to start after retiring.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are like, hey, I retired. I'm going to go buy an apartment in I don't know where or whatever. And their lives revolve around day to day and shopping and right. So I think it would be a great market to tap into.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's a very interesting potential.
يعني حتى عجبتني الإضافة لأن Amplify Space as I work يعني with people that are retired وكذا دائما ألاحظ أن اللي يتقاعد
صح.
تو يستوعب أنه لازم يصحى على نفسه. عرفت شلون؟
صحيح.
يعني تو يستوعب أن شو اسمه إن لازم يشتغل على البيرسونال براند ماله ولازم يضبط نفسه ولازم يعني طول عمره قاعد بشركة مثلا وبعد ما تقاعد اكتشف أن كل السنين هذه ما حد يعرفه ولا حد يدري عن شغله ولا حد يدري عن ولا شيء فمشكلة كبيرة صراحة فإضافة قوية يعطيك العافية.
And this is where IPOs come in. Instead of just going to a bank, you have people investing in an idea.
Yeah.
They do that in UAE
Yeah.
already. I do believe we should.
Take inspiration.
Yes.
تمام. الحين نروح السؤال اللي بعده. المشاريع اللي لازم يركزون عليها المستثمرين بشكل أكبر. Type of market. أي شيء.
So much. Where do you want me to
يعني
start?
أهم شيء يعني تحس شيء فيه نقص ولازم يدشون فيه.
Priority.
Technology as a whole or manufacturing for sure. Anything that we depend outside of this region should be, let's say, focused on. What would be smarter is to see what other countries are focusing on and we diversify since this is one open market.
Very good.
I truly believe in art. يعني having more art institutes or events or festivals هني بالكويت, it will definitely يعني make big impact. لأن الناس إحنا entrepreneurs نشتغل we want
Somewhere,
weekend to just express and be free and just like نكون كنا يهال. ف 100% entertainment, festivals, events, music, art.
Nice.
Solar, renewable sources of energy. For sure, solar is, I think it's really important. It's really easy to implement. وايد سهل الطبقة وحتى في يعني يدعمونك الحكومة في incentive إنه يكون عندك solar بالكويت. ف I'm all in for solar and renewable.
Renewable energy.
I'm a big believer that you are what you eat. And I think it all starts with what you feed yourself. And I think supporting the invisible people like the farmers and the agricultural industry is extremely important, especially because we have climate concerns and issues. So I think that there's a really huge opportunity to combine technology with agriculture in this day and age. Yani. So definitely the agricultural industry is a big one for me.
Nice. Yeah, that's important.
تمام. شيء لازم يتغير بثقافة الانتربرنورز عندنا.
That you need money to start.
Good one.
Bingo.
such doesn't يعني أنا عندي التنمية الحقيقية تبدي بالإنسان ما تبدي
Capital.
بالfunding أو بالمال. True.
Very good.
لازم تخطط. لازم يكون عندك خطة حتى لو وحط ببالك مو شرط تلتزم فيها بس لازم يكون عندك يعني رود ماب حق خطواتك الجاية واللي تبي تسويها. فهذه الثقافة جدا مهمة.
دلال.
I'm thinking normalizing speaking about your problems, normalizing your fear, normalizing your downside as well as your upside as well. speaking about these and having this safe space to talk about these on a day-to-day basis, I think is very important to normalize that.
Very good. Very interesting.
تمام. وآخر سؤال، شيء يقدر أي شخص يسويه هالسنة ويكون جزء من بناء الإيكونومي.
Open an online license and start from home.
ما أدري.
تمام.
Oh, I said open an online license and start from home.
تمام.
Yeah, this is exactly what I did.
نفس اللي أنا سويته بعد، فحلوة. زين.
يعني شيء سهل هذا.
Yeah.
بالضبط.
Easy implementable. Any ideas?
I would say invest your time in learning a new skill. Something that is not what you're doing, because it might open up a lot of creativity. It might inspire you. It might motivate you. It might even change your life. And then self-growth is incredibly important. Yeah.
تمام.
Yeah, you inspired me to answer this, which is learn AI.
New
راح
thing,
يضيف.
new
Yeah,
technology.
you gotta learn AI. لأن إذا أنت ما تعرف يعني you will be shunned. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so now this is the closing question, the last question. So if you have one message that you want to leave to 4 people, so a citizen, a normal citizen, a young founder, an investor, and a minister, and knowing that, you know, the future of this ecosystem, the entrepreneurial ecosystem, is going to be built on something that's sustainable or dissolved, what would that be? If they can implement something today,
Invest in the future future, what's it called? Hold on. Rewind. What is it called? صندوق الأرجاء القادمة.
the future fund,
Generations?
generation fund.
Yeah. Start using the Future Generation Fund today. Now is the perfect time to use it. We're building towards the economy growing, not it being built overnight. So that's going to take time.
So, sorry, but are we question?
I had the same question.
And are we saying something حق الgovernment?
Yeah, like a message for all of them at once. Like whoever you can target, one person or all of
Minister,
them.
I'm targeting you.
Well, to be honest, يعني I would envision, or I would, like, as a dream, I would love for entrepreneurs not to have the question of, if I start something, am I going to be safe? Instead of like, okay, شنو مو موجود بالكويت الحين, or I can definitely يعني have an impact to change, وأقدر أدعم نفسي, or I have the financial freedom at the same time I'm giving back to the country, and I can do it now. That would be يعني a dream.
I think to the citizen أو المواطن لا تنطر أحد يساعدك، أنت بنفسك روح سو. حق الوزير stop announcing and start asking. وحق
startup and founder, like a young, somebody just getting into it.
لا تخاف، كمل دربك و cut your losses. وحق الانفستر مو شرط تستثمر بأحد عنده أحلى presentation ويصير حق أحد أنت تعرفه. مو شرط.
تمام.
For me, I would say for all of them, if they were in one room and I would talk to them, I would probably tell them to talk to each other more. I think there's a little bit of an issue with alignment in the country. I have personally have seen that, where you would go somewhere and there's no alignment with another entity or no alignment. I think just having these conversations and talking to each other and aligning will bring more visibility and clarity to the future generations of entrepreneurs in Kuwait.
Yes.
تمام
Yeah.
يعطيكم العافيه ما قصرتوا
الله
والله
يعافيك.
يعني صراحه سوالف معاكم ما تنمل ودنا
Yeah.
نطول لكن الوقت اليوم يعني ما يساعدنا اليوم بس ان شاء الله يعني تكون حلقه مفيده للناس هذا اهم شيء والمتابعين ما عليكم امر يعني لايك سبسكرايب خصوصا الفتره هذه لان فتره البدايه وبس نقلب المومنتوم ان شاء الله ونقدر كل الدعم منكم ما قصرتوا والله يعطيكم العافيه.
Thank you so much. No, I'm just, I really enjoyed our conversation and having all you interesting personalities and different perspectives. And to just have, for me, the most important thing is having this dialogue and having an open conversation, normalizing these kinds of conversations. Thank you.
بس قواكم الله.